Some news out on the day. Grand Parade Investments is set to establish a Black Economic Empowerment Ownership Trust. Now that's specifically aimed at women. Joining us from Cape Town is the Group CEO, Hassan Adams. Hassan, thank you very much for joining us today. So let's talk about this decision here to create this scheme and why the specific focus from Grand Parade on women.
Yeah, thank you, Samantha, and good evening, listeners. Look, Grand Parade is a Black empowerment company, and obviously, we would like to take advantage of that space. We believe that in terms of the new BE codes, and because we are in a regulatory business, we need to make quite sure that we score the highest points. And we've made a conscious decision to increase our women, our participating women in the company, and therefore the 100 million rand fund that we're putting in for women.
Mm-hmm. I mean, will they essentially have a stake in the Grand Parade?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. What would that equate to?
That we will issue about 60 million rand of equity to women. That would be our choice. And 40% of that will go out to the market for women to subscribe to it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just looking at what this does for a company, as you said, a Black-owned company in South Africa, where, of course, there is a big focus on empowerment. Does this put you in a favorable position going forward, do you see, when it comes to where competitors prospectively are?
Yeah, of course. We don't want to be in a position where we piggyback on other companies that has to put in these sort of opportunities for Black people. We're a Black empowerment company, and we're a real Black empowerment company. So our attitude is very simple. We must do what others do too. Hence the reason for putting this 100 million rand fund in place. Now for us it's highly beneficial, because we are bidding for the lottery, and we're going to bid for a lot of other things. Mm-hmm. And we want to show our commitment to the new BE codes, and also show our commitment to engender GPI more. So I think it's incumbent on us to be, responsible corporate citizens in trying to level the playing fields, in South Africa. As a Black empowerment company, I'm very proud that we have taken this initiative.
Yeah, getting back to the lottery, because the last time I spoke to you, you talked about partnering up with an international company for that tender. So where are you in the process right now of that?
Well, we are working furiously with our overseas partners to put together the bid. They're all here in South Africa. They've been here for 3 weeks, and we are ready to rock and roll soon. We've got a substantial group together. But the actual company will be a BE company. I can't divulge more than what I've just said to you, because I don't even know who our competitors are. So, I'm not going to tell you who our overseas technical partners are. Mm-hmm. But safe to say that we are putting together a substantial bid. We're not just a Black empowerment company trying to piggyback onto, overseas company. They're piggybacking onto us. We are calling the shots, and we're making the rules to show government that it's time to look at the money staying in South Africa.
Yeah.
Even the production of the lottery machines, it will be done at our factories in Atlantis, and that's part of our bid. We want to demonstrate that we're creating real jobs in this country. We want to demonstrate that, the monies that we are going to make here is a substantial amount of that will stay in South Africa.
Mm-hmm. Looking at the lottery, give us some insight into some of the costs, because doing some research on it, I remember the cost to just submit a bid in this kind of tender process is quite a costly exercise. Give us some insight into how much it's cost you.
Yeah, look, because we're doing everything in-house, and we're not dependent on foreign companies dictating to us how to put the bid together, we have saved a substantial amount of cost. Most of the executives that's driving the show works for GPI. So our advisors are coming on a pro bono basis until the time comes when the bid gets adjudicated. So if we are successful, until then they are at risk. But can I just also say to you, there's a submission cost, which is, 2.5 million to submit by the end of November, and we're ready for that.
Yep, and also an update today coming through on your Hot Slots acquisition here in Gauteng. So where are you in the process with regulators on that, and what will that mean to the overall group going forward, greater exposure in the Gauteng region?
Yeah, look, we've sort of done all the necessary paperwork and term sheets and agreements. It's now up to the CPs, the conditions precedent. One of them is the Gaming Board approval. And we're waiting for that. As you know, that the Gauteng Gaming Board, has taken its time to reconstitute itself. So, it's a process that we're going through, that we have to go through. But for all intents and purposes, the deal is done.
So the deal is done. What does it mean for you?
Well, what it means is we will now have 2,000 slots in Gauteng. And because the Gaming Board is starting to get the rollout to happen much quicker, we can start to populate, a lot more areas in Gauteng with our LPMs, which is going to be highly beneficial to the business.